tutorial. Today we will discuss this program. Okay, we will see how to write Java program to print this pattern. Okay, yeah, if you observe this pattern, in this pattern, this entire pattern we can divide into two different patterns. Okay, say if you take this up to this, we can consider this as the upper half of the pattern, and remaining we can take it as a lower half of the pattern. Okay, this is the upper half of the pattern and this is the lower half of the pattern. Okay, we will divide this entire pattern into two different patterns and we will write the program. Okay, so now I'll write the program to print this upper half of the pattern separately and this lower half of the pattern separately. We will see how to print the upper half of the pattern first. Okay, yeah, if you see this here, yeah, this is the program. So as you know already, it's a package name and it's a class, it's a main method. And once you enter here, first of all we have to write the scanner class. Okay, and we have to enter the number of rows. Okay, how many number of rows you want to print the pattern. Okay, as per the entered number we can print the pattern. Okay, so to take the input from the user, we are using scanner class. Okay, so whatever the user is entering from the keyboard, okay, we are storing it in a variable n. Okay, and after that we are printing the pattern. Now, okay, we are trying to print the upper half of the pattern. If you see the upper half of the pattern, in the first row there are 7 stars are there, right? 7 6 5 4 3 2 1, right? And after that, from the second row, if you observe, there are number of some spaces are there. Okay, in the second row, in the first row there is no space, but from the second row the spaces are there, right? Here 1 space is there, here 2 spaces are there, 3 spaces are there from here to here, right? 1 space star space star again space, right? Three spaces. Okay, here 1 space, here 2 spaces, 3 spaces, 4 spaces, 5 spaces and 6 spaces in the starting of the row. Except the first row we are having spaces at the starting of the each row. Okay, so we have to write one outer for loop for the number of rows, and after that one inner loop for the spaces and another inner loop to print the elements with stars. Okay, yeah, we will see. So now I am writing say one outer for loop for the each row for int. Okay, for int I equal to 1. Okay, I less than or equal to 1. Okay, I plus I am writing. Okay, so after that again for loop I am writing for int. Okay, for int okay, so if you observe, we are having spaces, right? If you observe, this is the spaces, 1 space, so spaces are in the increasing order. Okay, except the first row, spaces should come in every row, right, in the upper half of the pattern. So for that, to print the spaces from, so spaces are starting from second row and 1 to maximum 6, right? 6 spaces, right? 1 to 6 we have to print the spaces. So for that I'm taking one inner for loop starting from 1 and j less than I am taking, because for the first row there should not be any spaces. To skip the first row I have taken j less than I. Okay, not j less than or equal to I. Okay, so now I'm printing spaces. Okay, 1 spaces I'm printing. Okay, and after that I have to print the elements, right? So for that, what I am doing, for int j equal to n, j, see, if you observe this pattern, the maximum elements are 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right? So the number of elements are in the decreasing order, right? So that's why I have to start from maximum n to j greater than or equal to I and j minus minus. Okay. Okay, I'm printing stars. In between the stars I want space, so I added star with a space. Okay, and after that I have to come to the next line statement. After printing stars and spaces, I have to come to the next row. So that's why I have taken this ln statement, system.out.print ln statement for the next line, means next row. Okay, so this is for the upper half of the pattern. We will see how it will print. Okay. Oh, okay. See, here I have written I equal to 1, I less than or equal to n, right? But sorry. Okay, now if you observe, I am entering 7 rows. See, we got upper half of the pattern like this, right? This is what we want, upper half of the pattern, right? So we got the upper half of the pattern. Up to this we have printed, right? Upper half of the pattern we have finished. Okay, now we will print the lower half of the pattern. So to print the lower half of the pattern, so in the lower half of the pattern, if you observe, see, 1 is already included in the upper half of the pattern. So in the lower half of the pattern, from here we have to consider, right, from 2 number of stars. Okay, because it's already covered in the upper half of the pattern, 1 we cannot cover in the lower half of the pattern. In the lower half of the pattern, it has to print the stars from 2, right? And before that, spaces also there in the upper half of the, in the below half of the pattern. See how many spaces. If you observe the element here, see exactly. Okay, so the spaces are like, how many spaces here? 1 space means 1 space, 2 space. See exactly here the element is printing, right? The element is printing here, right? So what we have to do here, we have to print from 1 space, 2 space, 1, 2, 3, star space, star space, star is also 1 element, right? 1 star space, and star, right? Means how many? 5, right? 5 number of spaces, right? So spaces are starting from 5 to 1, right? Here 1 space, here 5 spaces. Okay, 5 to 1 spaces, and after that elements are starting from 2, right? 2, 3. So the stars are in the increasing order and spaces are in the decreasing order. Okay, so what we have to do here, first I am writing, so its upper half of the pattern is completed. Now in lower half of the pattern we have to write one outer for loop for the each row, right? For that, so if you observe, it should start from the second row, right? This is if this elements is already included in the upper half of the pattern, we should start from this, right? So the starting element is, so first of all we want from the row number 2 we have to start, right, in the lower half of the pattern. That's why I am taking for int I equal to 2. I am taking because the elements in the lower half of the pattern, the elements of starting element is the number of, in the from the second row the elements are printing, right? 1 is already included, means the first row is already included in the upper half of the pattern. From the second row we have to consider, right? So that's why I have taken I equal to 2. Okay, and I less than or equal to n, and I plus I am taking. After that, so first of all I have to print the space, after that elements, right? So in the space wise, in the first row there are 5, right? 5 spaces are there, 5 to 1, and after that elements are there. Okay, to get 5 spaces, j greater than or equal to I j minus minus. Okay, the spaces for starting element is 5, right? That's why I have to here how many spaces totally? If I do n minus 1, how many spaces are there here? 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. 1 2 3 4 5, exactly 1 2 3 4, exactly at the 5th place it is there, right? Okay, 5th place means how many spaces are there here till this, right? 1 2 3 4. Okay, otherwise say here if you consider this pattern, suppose this one we have to, suppose this line we have to take as a base, then how many spaces are there? 1 2 3 4, 4 spaces are there, right? Okay, okay, we'll see once. Okay, for int next elements are like these are in the increasing order, right? 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, so 2 3 4 5 6 7, right? So I'm just formatting, Control Shift F. Okay, now we will see how the pattern will print. Okay, yeah, like this. Okay, so if you see this, here exactly how many spaces are there? 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, right? 4 spaces are there. So here starting element is 7 minus 1 6, right? 6 spaces are coming here, right? 1 2 3 4 5, exactly. So from the second row we have started. Okay, so here how many spaces it will print? J is equal to n minus 1 means 5 7 minus 1 6, right? Okay, suppose so whenever I equal to 2, 2 less than or equal to 7, okay, so it will print, it will come to here in the below half of the pattern, then j equal to n minus 1, okay, n minus 1 means 7 minus 1 6, okay, then 6 greater than or equal to 2, right, 6 greater than or equal to 2, so how many spaces it will print? 6 greater than or equal to 2, right, how many spaces it will print? 6 greater than or equal to 2, true, okay, one space, okay, 5 greater than or equal to 2, one space, 4 greater than or equal to 2, one space, 3 greater than or equal to 2, one space, 2 greater than or equal to 2, right, 1 greater than or equal to 2 statement is false condition, so it will come out from the loop. So totally how many spaces it will print? 5 spaces, right? So in the first row, how many spaces are there? How many spaces are there? 5, right? Up to here 1 2 3 4, okay, 5 spaces are there totally in the, okay, 6 5 4 3 2, 2 greater than or equal to 2, so it will print 5 4 3 2 1, like that, okay, it will print 5 spaces, okay, 6 5 4 3 2. So totally here after 6 spaces, 1, after 5 spaces, here 1 1 2 3 4 5, okay, exactly here the element is printing, right? So before that how many elements are there? One space means star space star space star, right? Totally 5, so 5 spaces should come, that's why we have taken n minus 1, okay, n minus 1 is 7 minus 1 6, 6 greater than or equal to 2 it will become, so it will print 5 spaces. After that, once the condition will fail, 1 greater than or equal to 2, then it will come to print these elements, okay, then j equal to 1, 1 less than or equal to 1 true, so it will print 1 star, and after that 1 will increment by 1, right, means 2 it will become 2 less than or equal to, this condition is true, so it will print 2 stars, okay, after that 3 less than or equal to, this condition is false, so it will come to the next row like this, okay. So this is how we have to write program to print this pattern. Hope you understand. If you have any doubts, please comment below. Thank you.